Okay, so we've done crunches, we've done push-ups. I'm going to show you some leg lifts. All right, so leg lifts on the floor. Here we go. Starting from this position, I showed you the push-pull crunch. I'm going to show you just a couple of more because this is kind of a leg lift crunch combination. All right, so we're going to start from this. So you find your balance point on your hips, your feet are together, you're at the heel, your knees are slightly apart, and you're balancing. All right, so now from here we go out, we go back. When you do that, keep your feet touching. So your feet are touching each other, all right, so that you have a connection in your leg. All right, so you're going to go out, back, out, back, out, back. You can do whatever you want with your arms. Just balance, okay? So out and back, push-pull crunches. Okay, now we can also do from there what we call jackknives. Okay, so you're out and then you lift. Open, close, open, close, open, close. There's lots of things you can do like that. They do require some balance. You can do it resting on your legs. So now we get into more leg lifts, okay? So, or not your legs, I'm sorry, resting on your elbows. Okay, so here I might go out and back, and out and back. And now it's just my legs, okay? It's not as much, I don't have to balance, all right? So this is a basic push-pull without the crunch part, all right? So now leg lifts, when I'm actually just really leg lifting, instead of being on my elbows, I'll be on my back. But in the beginning, when you do these, you need to be able to keep your back on the floor. And so I showed you that stretch earlier, and I'll show it to you again. When we arch our back up, and you can get your hand under here, if this is happening to you when you're doing leg lifts where your back is arching up, this is bad for your back. Okay, you don't want that back to be arching up when you do it. You want that back to be flat on the floor. So now my hand can't get under because my back is pressing into the floor. That's the position I need for leg lifts. In the beginning, many people are not strong enough to be able to keep their back on the floor and do leg lifts. So the trick is to put your hands underneath your hips. So you put your hands palm down on the floor and you slide them underneath your hips. So it's like you make a little cushion right here under your sacrum and you hold, that will keep your back on the floor. So now my elbows are on the floor, my hands are on the floor, and I'm sitting on my hands, okay, with my sacrum. And now you can do your leg lifts with your head resting on the floor. You can do your leg lifts with your head up. I personally like to have my head up because I'm engaging more of my muscles when I do it, but I like to see what I'm doing. So I'm out. So a basic leg lift is your feet are 6 inches off the floor and you lift straight up and straight back down. Straight up and straight back down. Straight up and straight back down. Okay? A leg lift with an extra lift, you lift up, lift, and down. Up, lift, and down. Up, lift, and down. Okay? Now, if you don't need your hands under your hips anymore, I'll show you what to do with your hands. I can do these keeping my back flat on the floor. If you can't keep your back flat on the floor, then please keep your hands under your hips to keep your back healthy. Okay? So for me, now the hands come back here just as if I were going to do a crunch. My head stays up, my feet go out, and I can lift. Okay, so now this is a slight variation, so I'm going to show you what these variations are. All right, the basic leg lift is what we call a 2 count, and that is where your legs are straight, they go up, and they go down. So it goes 1, 2. Okay, that's your 2 count. Notice on 2, I didn't go like this. Your feet don't hit the floor. You have to keep that about 6 inches off the floor. So when you're here, your legs come up, down, and they stop. They don't hit the floor, so it's not here. All right, so when you're doing leg lifts, there should be no thunking. You're always hitting that air space. Okay, so you go up, down, yes, and you don't hit the floor. So that's the 2 count. The 3 count is where you start your feet out at 6 inches, and you go 1, you curl your legs in, 2, you straighten them up, and 3, you go straight down. Okay, so the 3 count, again, would be starting position, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And then we have what we call a 4 count. And a 4 count is where your legs go through that intermediate stage twice. So you're out, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? All of these can be done with the added lift. I personally like it like that. So I like to add that extra abdominal crunch by lifting. So I start 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and I lift up. Okay, so I personally like that. Then we have scissors, bicycles. You can be here, hold your legs out, and then 1 in, 1 out. This is a bicycle. Okay, where they're out, apart, together, apart, together, apart. These are scissors, and then you can crisscross. Okay, so these are some basic leg lifts. Leg lifts are really great for, again, your abdominal muscles and your hip flexors. So to prepare your body for kicking, anything you want to strengthen that core to bring your leg higher. All right, and simply good for our core. It's good for us to have that strong core. It helps our posture. It helps us breathe. It helps us be strong, deliver power, and receive. Okay, so in martial arts, we need a strong core. It doesn't mean you have to have a clear, clean 6-pack of abs, but that's a goal to work towards. You know, so you want to have all these exercises that can really help keep you very strong in your core. All right, so leg lifts, you can add them to your repertoire. Okay, so there you have it. Hope it helps.